Hey Kenneth, this is Christina with KC Phoenix SEO. I told you I'd get you this video over with some tips on how to set your company above the competition and just some things that I saw on your website. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is content. The average site needs 1,000 to 1,500 words in order to be optimized with Google, and you're currently sitting at just under 300. So the first thing that I would recommend is getting that 1,000 words. Now that's across the entire site, but most of your backlinks that we're going to talk about later come to your homepage. And then also sometimes people won't go past your homepage because we're pretty instant gratification oriented. So I would recommend getting that 1,000 to 1,500 words on your homepage. I pulled up your #1 competitors when I did a search for pressure washing Destin, and the first organic spot right here was the Classic Touch pressure washing. And if you look at their site, they're actually only sitting at about just over 500 words, so really easy to beat. And content is king in Google's eyes, so the better content that you have on your front page, then the higher you're usually going to be ranked. So just by beating them in content alone might be enough to overtake that #1 spot. And if you look up here, pressure washing Destin is getting 50 searches a month, so those are 50 potential customers that you're missing out on by not being on the homepage of Google. The next section that I want to talk about is what we call the Google Map Pack. And so right here, you see the next visible section. Sometimes you'll have Google Ads up here, but usually the next spot is going to be the Google Map Pack. And this is where we see the business name, address, and phone number. And I did see that you had a Google My Business, which is great. So what I would do is if you want to get into these top 3 spots, which again, sometimes instant gratification, people won't go past this, plus they want to look at how close the company is to them. You can get ranked up here at the top of Destin. You'll see here that Classic Touch is not in the top 3 spots, so you don't have to be #1 down here to be in those top 3. And you're close enough and you service Destin, so you would be able to get ranked up here even though you're in Miramar Beach. So the way that you get listed in here is to get what we call citations. And this is when you submit that information, your business name, address, and phone number, exactly how you have it set on your Google My Business, into different directories like Yellow Pages, Yelp, Thumbtack, any kind of directory where people are looking for services. So I just wanted to show you this tool, and you can go out and get this yourself. It's called whitespark.ca. It costs about $30 to $70 a month, but it's a citation finder. And you'll see here, I went ahead and plugged in your information. And like I said, even though you're in Miramar Beach, you'll still be able to rank for Destin because that's a service area that you service. But right now you're currently sitting at 16 citations that you're showing up for. And the great thing about this is, I know it's got URL count, so multiple times. You're showing it multiple times, but it depends on what level of Whitespark you use as well, if it'll show you everything. But it says you have 16 citation sources where you're listed now, and you can go to your competitors, and if you look, remember AAA Contractor Service was in the #1 spot, and they have 29 citations. So what you can do is figure out where are they listed that you're not, do a side-by-side comparison, and then go after those same citations. And the great thing about this tool is that you can click right on the link and it takes you right to where you need to go. So that would be my next suggestion. And you don't want to ever beat your competition by a little bit, right? So they have 29 citations. I wouldn't just go after 30 citations because some of them are ranked higher than others as far as like they get more traffic, like Facebook, right? That's considered a citation. That gets a lot more traffic than even MapQuest anymore. So what I would do is I would go after at least 60 to 100 citations. That way, after you beat them out, if they try to play catch up, you're way ahead of them, and then you can see it coming, and then you can start adding more citations. The last thing that I want to talk about are backlinks. We call it link juice, and it simply works like Site A points to Site B. Site A is the link juice that gives Site B more authority in Google's eyes. It's like a popularity contest. So the more sites you have pointing to you, the more popular you are, the higher you're going to be ranked, generally speaking. You can have more sites coming in, but there's a little more to it than that. Link juice is more effective if you have a relative site linking back to you. So for pressure washing specifically, maybe you find a blog post that talks about the benefits of pressure washing. That's going to bring you a lot more power to have a link pointing to your website from that blog post than like a blog about pizza, because you don't sling pizzas for a living. So another tool I'm going to show you is called Ahrefs. Another one you can go out and get yourself and use these same tips I'm talking about. It's ahrefs.com, and it really gives a good breakdown of your site. And currently you're only showing 2 referring domains with 3 backlinks, And it looks like, you might have a relatively new site, so that's probably part of it. It takes a little while for those to show up. Those citations will show up eventually as backlinks as well. But just to show you what your competitors are doing, what you'll have to do to beat them out is they have 76 referring domains with 238 backlinks. Remember, these guys are in the organic spot, so this has nothing to do with the map pack. So, and they're ranking for 167 keywords. So these are the numbers that you have to beat. Very beatable. This would just take, maybe 2 months to get that many backlinks to beat them out, and then potentially be in that #1 spot. It does take a little bit of time for SEO, as you might have already heard, but these are the 3 things that you need to do. So in closing, remember content, getting that 1,000 to 1,500 words of content on your front page, and making sure some of those keywords are built into there. So I would have pressure washing Destin exactly like that on my homepage to make sure that Google knows exactly what it's going to look for whenever they're crawling your page. Citations, making sure you're getting listed in all those different directories. Start out with 60 citations at a minimum to beat out your competition, and then link juice, going after those backlinks. Wanted to say thank you for taking the time to watch my video today. If you wouldn't mind just giving me some feedback, I'd really appreciate it. Again, everything that I went over in this video is something you can do yourself. Those tools are available on the internet for you to use as well. But if this is something that you feel like you don't have enough time for, I'd love to help you out. If you want to give me a call back at 816-323-4100. Thanks, and have a good day.